Finding a good player in Football Manager for cheap is always one of the best parts of the game, and today I'm going to try and help you with that by giving you 10 cheap beasts that you can sign in your save. That's right, today we're jumping into Football Manager to give you some ideas of players to sign. Now, everyone that you're about to see in this video is of a cheap price in my opinion for what you're getting. No one is worth more than 5 million, some are a few hundred K, some 1 million, whatever it might be. So hopefully there'll be something for everybody's save. And if you do go on to enjoy this video, make sure you go ahead and smash that like button for us to show us the support. And let me know in the comments down below, this is the most important thing, your favourite cheap beats, because we actually use your guys' comments for each episode of this we do. In fact, from the last time you guys gave me some suggestions, about half of the players in this video are ones that you guys brought to my attention that I had no idea about. So drop your comments down below, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into player number 1. And in no particular order, we start with a young striker that can also play on the left wing that for me has Premier League potential in terms of his ability in game. Now, is he the world's best striker? Is he Erling Haaland? Of course he's not. I mean, the fact that he's 2 million and you probably haven't heard of him goes to show he's not going to be the world's best, but when you think about a cheap beast, you feel like this is exactly what you're looking for. I mean, a mil and a half from Parma out in the Italian divisions to get an under 21 Polish player who has scored 8 goals for 11 in his nation, 22 years of age now, still with some years to get better, 6'3" and really well-rounded physicals that are going to make him great in game. If you don't know this year, having good physical attributes seems to matter more than mentals and technicals, and this guy has everything to his game. Combine that with the fact that he is still good in those other areas with 14 finishing, 14 heading, good passing, technique and some good mental attributes, and you have a great option here for the price. You can see Burnley are interested in this save, which goes to show this guy's kind of level. He can play high-level championship, add a push, maybe even at a Premier League level in a year or so's time. Now, for all of these players you're about to see, ignore the star rating, because I'm managing Chelsea here, and all of these players are being compared to the likes of Enzo Fernandez, Cole Palmer, Caicedo, and whatnot, and for that reason, the star ratings are going to look low, even though realistically, these aren't the kind of people that you're going to sign for a Chelsea. And now we move on in already our second player to one of my favourites in this whole list. I thought I've got to show him to you guys. Don't worry, there's some really special ones at the end of this video, but this is a fantastic talent. It's Marco Brescianini. I don't know if I pronounced that right at all. Either way, he's an Italian 23-year-old, former under-21 international who can play centre mid or defensive midfield, and he's currently playing at Frosinone in the Italian divisions. Now, you can pick him up for about, what, 2.5 mil, 3 million here maybe, and for that price, I mean, if you were, say, at Brentford or something like that in the Premier League, are you telling me this guy wouldn't be a great player? He is fantastic all around. I mean, physically, super well balanced, and mentally and technically, he has also got some great attributes in every area. Can defend well, can pass well. He's got a good left foot on him as well, good first touch dribbling and finishing, which is great for a midfielder to have. Long shots too. And whilst you could say, you know, he'd be a good defensive midfielder or whatnot, I think for me, I'd want to use him a bit more further forward, maybe as a box-to-box midfielder, which he could do well, or potentially, as it suggests here, use his attacking play in that Mazzala role and have him cause chaos up top, because he's got everything he needs: the strength, a bit of pace, aerial ability, he can hit a ball, he can play a pass, he can defend well, the ultimate all-round midfielder, left-footed, and a great option really. These box-to-box profiles are quite hard to come across, so to find one here for £2-3 million or so, it's a must-buy in my opinion. Let's move on to the cheapest player in this list though, and one that was suggested by you guys in a previous video. This is the Scottish 20-year-old defender Liam Morrison, who's a Bayern Munich player who will start your saves over at Wigan Athletic. Now, just to let you know, I'm using the standard Football Manager database here from after the winter update, but if you're playing with any mods or anything like that with the new season's transfers, some of these players might have moved, but either way, they are still going to represent great options to buy in your saves. Liam Morrison is one of those. Currently at Bayern Munich, he's not got too long left in his deal, and I think that might be why he is available for so cheap. At the looks of it here, you could pick him up for about 100k after his loan was done with Wigan, and you're getting a championship level centre-back, I would say pretty comfortably, at 20 years of age, who has the potential to be a Scottish international in the future. I think he could grow into a Premier League level defender in a few years' time. Clearly Bayern Munich saw some talent in him when they picked him up from Celtic all those years ago, but Yeah, I like this guy. I think he looks like a good option, well-rounded physically, good on the ball, and a great suggestion from you lot for a player that, to be honest, I've never came across before. But a lot of these players I have signed myself in my own saves, which if you want to check any of them out, you can find them on my channel, linked in the description. Over there, we do weekly Football Manager rebuilds, where we take over at a club, and in the space of one video, we'll play 5 seasons. They're about half an hour long. We pack everything into that one video, and I'm sure you guys will love them if you go and check them out. I'm very proud of them. So thank you to anyone who does that. Once this video is done, check out the link in the description. Drop me a subscribe over there. Help me get to 50k subs, but don't worry, no more plug-in. Let's get back to our list. And up next, we have a player that could potentially be more expensive than everybody else on this list, depending on what kind of deal you get for him. This is Yannick Eduardo, a Dutch 17-year-old player who plays for RB Leipzig. Now, he is the youngest one in this video, I believe, and he was another one suggested by you lot. And I actually think, even though I tend to avoid using Wonderkids in these videos because for a cheap beast you want someone that you can buy and get good results out of, I think Eduardo is one of those that just makes sense anyway, because he's not just potential. The guy has already got a lot going for him in terms of what you'd be looking for in this year's game. 6'3", good physical attributes and good technicals as well. Obviously, in a few years' time, he's going to look totally different and way better than this. And that tells me that you need to go and buy him when he's available now at the start of your saves for a few million quid. I mean, 3 million maybe might get you over the line here with some kind of percentage of next sale or whatever it might be. And I think for that value, you're getting an unbelievable forward. Now, he's going to need game time. I've never really seen him grow that much in my saves because if you don't sign him from Leipzig, they probably won't play him and he won't fulfill his potential. But if you do get a chance to sign him and give him that game time, there is clearly a player there who could go right to the very top, available for such a cheap fee. And to be honest, I don't know how I haven't came across him either. He's another one that I didn't know until you guys suggested it. So that just goes to show, drop your comments down below and we might feature your player in a future video. A player that we've checked out in plenty of videos in the past this year though, but certainly fits the bill of cheap beasts, is the only goalkeeper in today's list. It's Moises Ramirez, the Ecuadorian international 22-year-old from Independiente del Valle out in the Ecuadorian divisions. Now you can sign him for about £1 million and he is, you know, a proper modern day goalkeeper with 17 eccentricity. He's going to play that sweeper keeper role very well, despite the fact that his kicking, handling and communication need some work. He is a young goalie, but he's got great reflexes, great aerial reach, even though he's only 6'1". The one-on-one ability is great too. Is he going to be the perfect goalkeeper? I'd say no, but I have seen this guy play at a European challenging level, like playing for teams in Europe that might win trophies. He's someone that always ends up good in Football Manager, and for £1 million, you can't really turn down this quality. Halfway through the list, and we are saving my favourite till last, but another one of those that I really like from this list that I would probably suggest over some of the others is Adrian Zehnter, the 18-year-old Paderborn fullback who you can sign for £1 million. I believe this year on the channel we've looked at him once, but you can forgive me with the amount of videos we've done during FM24 that I might have forgot which times I've mentioned a player, but he is a perfect signing for £1 million. I mean, an attacking fullback with potential to get better, 15 crossing, 12 passing, 12 first touch, even 13 free kicks and 15 corners. He can hit a set piece, but that doesn't mean he can't defend. Yes, his marking is a bit weak, but he is a youngster. He's still got 11 tackling though, 12 off the ball work. He's got really nice teamwork and work rate too. Positioning and marking are the only things I really see as a weakness in his game, and as time goes on, he is going to grow into a top level left back. Got some nice player traits as well to go alongside how you might want him to play in game, and he's just another no-brainer signing. £1 million in a few years. Once he's developed, you're looking at one of the world's best fullbacks, and you'll probably go and sell him on for 30 or 40 million in no time. Our next cheap beast, so, is a player that fits into a very specific type of team. This is Uldriķis, who is a 25-year-old Latvian forward playing for Cambuur out in the Dutch divisions. He's going to cost you £1 million or £1.5 million really to go and sign him because he's already an important player at his team. But if you picked him up for, say, a championship side and you played to his strengths, this guy would tear it up in the in-game engine. If you haven't yet seen, the guy's got 20 jumping reach, he's 6'6", and he's got 16 heading. That doesn't mean he's terrible at everything else, but realistically, that is the strength that you're going to play to, his aerial ability. Put him at the front post from corners, play crosses into his head. This guy will dominate, and when you actually look at him and realise he's actually not too slow either, he's quite strong, he's actually a good finisher too, makes good decisions, and he's composed. Exactly what you'd look for in a bargain forward. Someone that's going to score goals, and in no time, you could sell him on for a massive profit. Maybe he is a little bit one-dimensional, he's not exactly going to be the guy that's going to beat an offside trap, but if you're looking for a different option in your team, a big man to play the ball into. Every team needs it, and Uldriķis could be a great option for your side. Going back to your suggestions though, and we got given this player at Venezia, a 23-year-old Indonesian by the name of Jay Idzes. I don't know exactly how you pronounce it, but he is a centre mid who can also play DM, or centre back is where I think he's best suited. 6'3", strong, and maybe not the quickest, but very well rounded when it comes to everything else defensively. Good mental attributes. He can pass the ball well as well for a defender that's only available for 500k or so. Can tackle, good marking as well. Positioning's great, good heading ability. Can even hit a free kick at a push. Now, is he going to play at a top level? Maybe not, but if you're a high-level championship team or low-level Premier League, give this guy the chance, and I could see him becoming a low-level Premier League player. Now, obviously, he's already getting football for a decent team out in Italy in Venezia, so even if you didn't sign him in Season 1, he'll likely develop quite a lot in no time, and then will look like an even better option. But the Indonesian looks like a great pick for anyone that's after a bargain in that centre-back spot. Is he going to go on to be the world's best? Maybe not, but still, definitely worth the money. 2 picks to go now, and we have a cheap beast, and this save is wanted by West Ham. This is the Brazilian 23-year-old Marquinhos, who's playing in the Hungarian divisions for Ferencvárosi. I don't know if I pronounced that right either. My pronunciations today have probably been terrible, but either way, you can sign this guy for around £3 million. He is a forward that can also play on the left wing if needed, but for me, I think I'd have him as that advanced forward. Maybe if you were playing him on the left, you'd want to use him as an inverted winger, as his finishing isn't the best, and actually, with a bit of training, I'm starting to think that'll be a better position for him. 10 finishing isn't the worst in the world, particularly when he is a quick forward. He's going to help, but I think his player traits, cut inside from the left wing, shoots with power. You probably want him outside the box, cutting in this area. So inverted winger or inside forward, I think makes the most sense for him. He's got some nice physical attributes, good mentally and very good technically, a brilliant dribbler. And for £3 million, this is again a Premier League quality player, and you can't get this kind of signing normally for so cheap. It's just because of the league he's in, he's undervalued, and he is certainly worth taking a punt on. But now we move into our final player and my favourite from this video. So if you have enjoyed up to this point, make sure you smash the like button. But we are looking at the Norwegian 23-year-old from Tromsø, Sakarias Opsahl. Again, I've really picked all of the hard names to pronounce today, but this is a very talented Norwegian midfielder who can play in other areas, but realistically, I think you want him as a deep line playmaker. 16 corners, 14 first touch and free kicks. You know he's a set piece wizard that's good on the ball, can hit a long shot. He's also got good marking, good positioning, good tackling, passing, vision, technique, everything you could want. Very well balanced mentally too, and he's got some good physicals as well. He likes to dictate the tempo, comes to get the balls from deep. This is a brilliant defensive midfielder for 500, 600k. An absolute must sign in my opinion. You're easily going to make your money back on him a 10 times fold, and he's going to be a player that will really help your first team. Even if you're a mid-table Premier League side, he'd be a great signing, a future Norwegian international, and one of my favourites in this list. But there we go, there's 10 cheap beasts for you guys to sign. Let me know your favourites down below and who you'd like to include in the next video. But thank you for all the support, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.